So today we're going to be talking about these two EOTechs, or red dot sights. So before we start, I have a challenge for you. I would like you to guess which one of these cost $35 and which one of these cost $400. I'm going to start with this one, which is A, and this one, which is B. And go ahead and put that in the comments. Correct answers may win a 4-stick. So this one right here is going to be the $400 EOTech, and this one right here is your $35 eBay clone. All right, so they have the same button layout here, and they have the same protective hood. They have the same placement for windage and elevation knobs, and they have the same release system for the batteries. The quality of plastic material is obviously less with this guy here. This one's made out of hardened aluminum, and this one right here is made out of chinesium. We have, all right, so that's where the batteries go. I prefer the AA version of this. It's a little bit heavier, but when shit hits the fan, I can just raid a Home Depot and get myself some AA batteries. So this one right here is called the 552 graphic sight. So the way this works is it's a holographic sight. Is that it projects from the inside onto a two-way mirror which projects through the lens. So you shoot this with both eyes open, and you essentially just put the red dot on the target and press the trigger. One feature that this has that the EOTech does not, which I actually thought is pretty cool, is this little button here to switch from green to red. So we can switch from green to red, back to green with that little center button right there. All right. So on the EOTech here, there is no button to press to change it from red, but we can definitely see the brightness and the sharpness of the reticle in there. I can go ahead and turn that guy all the way up. That's all the way up. And then I can go ahead and turn it all the way down. Nice. All right. As far as weight go, they're approximately the same. I would say that the EOTech is just a tiny bit heavier. All right, you might ask yourself, why would somebody spend $400 on a red dot sight as opposed to $35 when they look so similar? I think the number one most important thing that they should care about is reliability. This thing is working right now while it's sitting here on my desk in my office. But how well is it going to work after 100, 200, 300 rounds? How well is it going to work after 12 hours in the hot desert? How well is it going to work after it gets a little wet in a wet jungle after 2 weeks? This guy is definitely going to kick pretty good. This guy should stay in the fight pretty well. EOTech has had some problems with reliability, but as far as comparing these two together, I'd definitely put my money on this one. Now, there's some other options out there. Like, you get a $200 Vortex option for a red dot. There's also the aim point, which is the reigning king of right now. Aim points are about $800. And from what I hear, they work pretty well. But I've never had a problem with my EOTech. I can shoot it out to 500 yards. Very accurate, very reliable. So let me tell you about what the equipment I had while I was in the Marine Corps. While I was in the Marine Corps, I shot an ACOG, after iron sights, we shot ACOGs. The ACOG is a pretty cool technology. It has a tritium light collector on top, brings it light down into the reticle. Very effective, has some magnification to it. The reason I chose my EOTech instead of the ACOG is, well, at the time, Marine Special Forces units were using EOTechs as their red dot, and the effectiveness in short range was pretty clear that you just bring it up, got that dot on target, zero magnification, so its short range, fast acquisition of targets was extremely beneficial, extremely well. And so I got the EOTech here because I knew that if I was using my firearm, it was going to be most likely an extremely short range, like CQB type stuff, in-home stuff. So I got the EOTech to accommodate that type of shooting. The ACOG is a fantastic battle rifle scope, very tough, very good for addressing threats even at short ranges, as well as up to 500 yards. But for mission specific, I got this guy. Also, it's half the price. Probably the other factors is that they have these in Call of Duty, and so I thought they looked cool. There's probably more truth to that than I want to admit. All right, so here we're going to test the parallax on this particular sight. So the way parallax works is as we move to the left and the right, it's going to bend the light. Now the reticle here is not moving at all, but our perception of where the reticle is aimed at changes. And that's definitely going to change our point of impact if we're not directly behind that reticle every single shot. And because this is a quick reaction, fast sight with both eyes open, you bring the gun up and you fire as soon as that reticle's on target, then with a cheap reticle like this, where we observe a lot of parallax, every time we come off of that off center, we are going to have, inaccuracies. Now, let's see if the $400 EOTech does the same thing. All right, so here we observe that the EOTech does have a parallax, even though the company claims that it is parallax free. All right, so as we see that reticle is not moving, only our perception of that reticle in relation to the target, but we do see that it's about 40% less than the cheaper sight. And that can definitely be significant. Okay, so in conclusion, these are very similar products. I think with the EOTech, really what you're paying for is just the reliability and build quality. We haven't really been able to kind of crack this thing open and see what we're looking at inside, but this has been shot on my rifle, my 5.56, for about 2,000 rounds or so, and it still works perfectly fine. This one's never been on a rifle, never been shot, never been wet. So the reliability, durability, and battle readiness of this particular product is definitely up for question. But as far as in my office, these guys perform pretty much the same. I would highly recommend spending an extra $400 and instead of getting an EOTech, buying an aim point. Yeah, in conclusion, I would highly recommend buying an aim point. This works better. They're parallax free, they're very durable, they're lighter, and their batteries last way longer. The only reason I have an EOTech instead of an aim point is because it looks cooler, and because it's on, because it's half the price, it looks cooler, and because it was on Call of Duty. But other than that, it's just not as good. So shout out to F1 Firearms for this hat, and I would like to thank the guys at Combat Assault Battalion. Good people.